Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Thursday, October the 11th, and this is the market overview, looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, CompQ, GE, Apple, XLF, and a few others. Okay, so today we were expecting a catch. And didn't know if it would come today, didn't know if it would come tomorrow. And it certainly didn't end the way that I was expecting, but it did catch. So here we are with the Dow. And yeah, we have a inverse hammer and possible very slight possible bottom of a range, ultra slight, but it certainly isn't exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting a catch because of the level that it was at, lining up with the bottom of the big green candle, and it did. It did jump up really, really nice. It did what I thought it was going to do, but it ran out of steam, and by the end of the day, boom. Closed lower than yesterday. Fascinating. Very interesting. So, does that mean the bulls are finished? That's the question now, isn't it? And the answer is no, because here we are today. Where did it close? The bottom of the shadow from the big green candle. And where did it close yesterday? The bottom of the real body of the big green candle. We still have not reached this other area right here, which should be relatively minor, at all. Fascinating. So, big green candle still in play. And very interesting. We know that the resistance or support, middle candle, and either the bottom or the top of the candle, and that is working at the moment. Very interesting. Beyond that, we have worked off topping area in the heat map. We have penetrated deep into the long-term moving average bar and are holding for the moment. We just barely have the short-term moving averages entering the bar. Not all of them have done so yet. And we have the 14-day RSI moving average now clearly, very, very clearly, on its way towards the bottom. But yeah, look at this. RSI going sideways today. Stochastics both low. CCI low, ticking up. Down on the MACD, histogram down on the MACD. But overall, can you look at this and say the bears or the bulls are finished? No. Certainly the price action, the giant tail, is encouraging, but they just could not break these levels. Fascinating. Very, very interesting. Now, 60-minute time frame. I mean, it tells us some the daily today, but it doesn't tell us a lot. So hopefully 60-minute will tell us something more useful. Well, we can see how we have exited or broken this previous low. That is bearish. We can see that we don't have as extreme of a bottoming area anymore since we've worked some of it off. That's better for bears, but it's still not great. It's still a bottoming area. We have the stochastics already getting low once again to meet the 14-day RSI moving average low, which would suggest that there isn't too much time before it will shift gears. Still moving down on the CCI, moving down on the RSI, slanting up on the MACD histogram, although it did tick slightly lower at the end. And almost getting a bullish cross, but failing towards the end of the day. Still, time running out. So, is this a area which should be of concern to bears? Yes. Yes, it should. Definitely not as clear-cut as yesterday. Going on to SPX. Also very interesting. We ended with almost a gravestone doji. It's not at the bottom of a range. It is slightly, ever so slightly higher than yesterday. So we know that this area has not been cleared out. Yes, it was unable to hold anything today. And we still have the 14-day RSI moving average and the stochastics moving down, getting, let's see exactly where it is. If we get way back here. Yeah, if we blow it way up, the 14-day RSI moving average has plenty of room to move, but the stochastics, the fast in particular, already very low, suggesting oversold very, very short term. I would not be surprised at all to see this turn and go up and meet the 14-day RSI moving average. That is good for the bears, or the bulls, I'm sorry. And it should go back up and retest this channel that we have fallen out of. So, the bulls, are they done? No. No, they are not. And everything else identical to the Dow. No need to rehash. Moving on to the VIX. Alright. So, the VIX also paints a picture of a big question mark. We got some penetration into long-term moving average bar. We had closed at the upper price consensus level yesterday. This was a big gap down. And so once again, it is trying to fight its way through the long-term moving average bar. And not being overly successful with it. And closing... my eyes are playing tricks on me. I thought we were going to have a major price consensus level, but we are way above that. So never mind with that. Beyond that, slight tick in the heat map, good for bears. 14-day RSI moving average still moving up, stochastic still moving up, losing some momentum in the fast stochastic, down on the CCI, down on the RSI, down on the histogram, and barely up on the MACD. Big question mark. Big question mark in the daily. So, is this more bullish or bearish? I think this is a little bit bearish, to tell you the truth. Position, candle, tail, long-term moving average bar, and secondaries deteriorating. Yes, this is more bearish than bullish, and that is good for market bulls. Moving on, TNA. Alright, so TNA yesterday resolved some of the gap fill over here. Today, bouncing back up. We said yesterday, spinning top inside the long-term moving average bar. Should it suck itself back in? And it did slightly. Complete honesty. We saw the 14-day RSI moving average moving down. We have the stochastics trying to turn. We have the CCI trying to turn. The RSI going sideways. The MACD histogram trying to turn. And the MACD still pointing down. Daily time frame, TNA bullish. Bullish edged anyway. UUP, the dollar. Alright. So they downgraded Spain. $2.5 trillion write down possibly in Europe. IMF. And with all of that, the dollar gaps down. It's green for the day. But this doesn't exactly jive now, does it? Gap down in the dollar should be wildly positive. It was for part of the day. And then as it climbs, just wipes it all out. We have, what do we have? Well, we're still below the major price consensus level. We still have the 14-day RSI moving average going up. That is bullish. And the stochastics are losing some momentum, still pointing up. Down on the CCI, down on the RSI, down on the histogram, and up on the MACD itself. This does look more bearish than bullish. And we had talked yesterday about perhaps needing to fill this gap, which a good portion of it was done today. And we were hoping that this would not need to fill. That is still unknown. So partial gap fill, leaving a little at the top, a little at the bottom, and a spinning top question mark of which way is it going to go next. Secondaries are pretty choppy, but overall I would say this is a little more bearish than bullish. Very interesting. USO, oil. When oil is bullish, the market is bullish. It was very slightly bullish today, and that doesn't exactly jive with the overall market, but it is what it is. 14-day RSI moving average still pointing down. Stochastics up, CCI up, RSI up, histogram up. MACD looking for a bullish cross. This is questionable, but I would say slightly more bullish than bearish, and that would be good for the overall market. So very curious. Kind of mixed signals tonight. And FXC, the euro, we looked at this last night, talking about a confluence, 200-day moving average, long-term moving average bar, and what did we get today? Oh, we got to move up and then move down. And overall, is this more bullish or bearish? Well, histogram ticking up, MACD ticking down, RSI sideways from yesterday, stochastics losing momentum, 14-day RSI moving average pointing down, CCI ticking up. I would actually say this is very slightly and above the major price consensus level and above the middle Bollinger Band. This is slightly more bullish than bearish, which is actually kind of surprising to me, but it is what it is. And of course, the euro being more bullish than bearish is good for market bulls. How about that? So if this is an attempt at a, maybe we're going to try and get a secondary reset, I'm not sure at this point, then that would, I would assume, would be an attempt or a failed attempt at the previous high, most likely crapping out somewhere in the 129.2 area is what I would expect, just to have lower highs. But we'll see. And that's the upper Bollinger Band at the moment. Actually, it's just shy of that. Maybe 129.4. But anyways, slightly more bullish than bearish. How about that? And CompQ, the NASDAQ, once again telling us essentially nothing. We looked at this last night, said, is this a good area for it to get caught? It's in this little range right here. We said that it was. It did try, and it failed, but it did not make a new recent low. We're still in exactly the same spot for getting caught. Question is, can it get caught 2 days in a row? To that end, I don't know. It looks more weak than the Dow and SPX. 14-day RSI moving average moving down, stochastics moving down, yes, losing a little momentum. Down on the RSI, up on the CCI, down on the histogram, that's a big difference, and down on the MACD. So, fascinating. And what would make that worse than the Dow and SPX? Well, it would be Apple. Amazing, isn't it? Huge range today, closing 628, not exceeding the big hammer, so all is not lost for the Apple bulls at the moment. Getting a darker mark on the bottoming area of the heat map, which is also encouraging, but not getting an uptick on the MACD histogram. So, does this still look weak? Yes, it does. Excuse me. Yes, it does. Not even the CCI is ticking up. It's just going sideways. So, is this more bullish or bearish? Yeah, this is more bearish. Sad to say. And GE, trying to get a better read on the Dow. A little up from yesterday, but still a red candle. 14-day RSI moving average just getting to its way on the downside. But we could be looking at a secondary reset. We do not have an uptick on the MACD histogram as of yet, but losing momentum on the RSI, fast stochastic, and even the CCI ticking up. Very interesting. This one I'd be more expectant to go down here to the 22.2 or the major price consensus level, but resisting at the moment. And JP Morgan, most important bank. I believe earnings are tomorrow. Earnings on some big giant banker tomorrow. Making a new recent high today, bullish. Red spinning top, very questionable. Definite topping area in the heat map, not a good sign for bulls. Is the earnings already priced in? It would seem so to me. If this decides to reverse and go down, it will take the market with it. Very mixed tonight, very mixed. And MACD histogram trending up, MACD ticking up, RSI going up, stochastics trying to go up, CCI definitely going up, negative divergence, quite a bit of negative divergence, and in the stochastic, and of course in the MACD histogram, and in the RSI, and the 14-day RSI moving average is pointing down. This is massively dangerous to me. And XLF, the financials as a whole, very similar to JP Morgan, unable to beat or test previous high. CCI, RSI ticking up, stochastic still going down along with the 14-day RSI moving average, slightly up on the MACD histogram and sideways on the MACD itself. Very questionable, and boy, it's really a push-pull. Everything's going to depend on the earnings tomorrow morning. Wow. So it really looks like tomorrow is going to be absolutely crazy. And, oh yes, GLD, of course. Closing below the major price consensus level, slightly. Not a good sign. Below the middle Bollinger Band, not a good sign. It is a doji, indecision. Up on the CCI, sideways on the RSI, mixed on the stochastics, down on the 14-day RSI moving average, down on the MACD, down on the MACD histogram. So, more weakness, fill this gap. What's left of it? Yeah, that seems appropriate. Would be a retest of the long-term moving average bar. But I guess we'll see. Tomorrow is so darn important. I don't think there's anything else to really look at. So tomorrow will be fun. Wow. Just things that look like it should bounce, should be caught a second time. And then other things that say, nope, we're just starting the down move. So in cases like that, I'm going to let it take the first step and do a tell. Just don't have a good tell tonight. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you very much.